welcome everybody to our regular meeting for the City Council of the City of Perry, December 18th, 2023. Let's call this meeting to order and begin with roll call.
Coldiron.
Here.
Rupp.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
Brown. Here. Coffee.
Here.
White.
Here.
Marshall. Here. Davis. Here. Wortham.
Here. All right, we have quorum. Tonight, Gloria will be offering our invocation for us.
Father, we just come before you tonight with hearts of thanksgiving, thanking you for the season that we're celebrating, the birth of your son Jesus, thanking you for the fact that he was born to die for us, and thanking you that we can celebrate this season being grateful to you for your goodness, your mercy, and your grace. We thank you for the ability to be able to come and to share in this meeting and to make decisions that will honor you. We thank you for each one's sacrifice to their families. We thank you for just being able to serve you in this capacity. We just ask that you lead, guide, and direct us in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Gloria. All right, let's get started here. Item number 1, the consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion second.
We're on it
There
tonight.
we are. Oh, we're ready to go.
Coldiron.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Coffee.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Marshall. Yes. Davis. Yes. Wortham.
Yes. All right, skipping over items 2 and 3. We'll go to item 4, comments from those assembled. So we do have a few folks here that want to address the city council. Just to let you know, so we do allow everyone to a maximum of 3 minutes. And then, just so you know, what is discussed, the city council cannot take any action on that. This is just bringing it to our attention that we can place on a agenda item later if needed. So, who would like to speak first?
My name is D. Ray Pearson. I grew up here in Perry, wrestled here, left here, went to the military, come back, single parent, 2 boys. I only brought 1 with me. We've been having a lot of issues here lately that needs to be brought up and really gone through. First off, the police department. Okay? They are abiding outside of our actual amendments, the laws, the regulations. When someone is called to your home for a noise complaint at 8:30 in the evening and it's your son's birthday party, and instead of approaching from the Courage that they're supposed to and approaching to the main entrance of the door, no, they don't do that. They drive up the alley, they come in, they harass me, they called me out by name, all right, all these different things. I have audio, video proof. Not just me, not just my son, not just this man, but the young lady that left out and a whole nother lady. All right? Guys, we got to get this under control. There is 3 tyrant public servants on this police force. They're stopping people. Oklahoma is not a stop and identify state. You are not, and this is how I was explained. If I'm walking down the street, an officer cannot pull me over and say, you need to identify. All right? Not without articulate suspicion of a crime. Reasonable articulate suspicion of a crime. First off. Secondly, I got brutally beat by 2 of the officers, okay, a month after I had back surgery. I got blown up twice overseas. I lost 5 soldiers. I had to have back surgery due to that. The night of my son's 17th birthday party at 8:30 in the evening. Then I was left in the cell after begging and pleading for my seizure medication. I was left there. When I came to, they were just barely opening the cell door for the medical and the officer that just beat the snot out of me, one of them. I have pictures of boot prints. One so bad on my thigh that it ripped my skin open. One on my back, right where my surgery was. I have all of this, guys. And I've been begging. I made a plea deal with the courts So I wouldn't go to jail and spend minimal of 10 years because of my military background, because I'm a decorated soldier. I would have. But I took a deal so that I could stay home with my sons because I am their family. I am their parent. I've been raising my 2 kids for over 14 and 15 years. I've got one that's about to graduate from Perry, and I've got this one right here that plays phenomenal football, that was literally thrown off the football team or put under a suspension because one of the personnel in the school would not do their job. He didn't get to play a sport for a whole entire season because they failed to get the correct paperwork turned in. And then they said it was our fault, that it was my fault. Okay? The police department situation is getting out of control. I've been trying to get in contact with specific personnel. I've left phone numbers. I've been up here. I've sat there. All I'm being told is, here's his phone number, call him. We'll transfer you. All right? I've been told to sit up here, get up there at 8 o'clock in the morning. You know, all these different things. But, one, the reasoning why I've been in so much contact, trying to get in contact with this gentleman right here, is because I took a deal. I'm supposed to do 40 hours of community service because they beat the hell out of me. Pardon my words. But I have a weight restriction of 15 pounds. I've been to every place in this town. Okay? I've even called churches. But with me having 6 months, as of today, I'm a little over 6 months out of back reconstruction surgery. I have a weight restriction. I have seizures due to being blown up overseas. I have to take my medications. And I keep getting told, call him tomorrow, show up tomorrow. I've left messages for this gentleman. I really have.
I've tried to call you back, the phone does not go through.
Sir? Oh, you don't have your phone with you?
No, I don't.
But I've done everything. I've come up here. I've turned in complaints against these officers. One of the officers, 2 days after he beat the snot out of me, got promoted and went to the sheriff's department. I've had police officers, one specific, I will not name that gentleman, from the Perry Police Department. I've had 2 sheriffs from the sheriff's department see me. Hey man, how are you doing? Are you okay? I heard them laughing about how they beat you up. We don't understand why they did that. Mr. Pierce, this is what I'm being told by the officers. Because I've never done anything wrong. I've always kept my head up here and out of trouble. That's what I've taught him and his brother. Stay out of trouble. Don't cause issues. Shut your mouth. I'm done with it. I had a MMA gym here in town. That man right there went out of his way to try to help me to get an event going here in this town, to make more money for this town. But what happened? The fire chief shut it down. You can't do anything like that here. We don't want that here in this town. It's revenue, guys. You know, the sale of Ditch Witch. Wasn't there a legality in there that a specific amount was supposed to go to the town of Perry? Where's that at? What about the generators that's buried out here in the whatever creek, Cow Creek or something like that? You know, what about that? Back behind the old water plant. That's where they're all at. What about that? You know, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I don't understand why nobody has stepped up. There's been a lot of allegations of things going on. You know, I have seizures. Why is the officers coming in and hit me with Narcan? It states right on the thing, do not give to known seizure patients. They've done it. Ask the chief. He can pull up all the records. 14 times they said there was calls to my house because I was having medical issues with my seizures. 14 times. They hit me at my house with it, and then they injected stuff in me. Makes me worse. It states on it, will and may cause class 2 seizures. I am a known disabled veteran with seizures due to traumatic brain injury of being overseas. I mean, I don't know what else to say. This is out of control. You know, I even tried to get, I don't even think you was the actual mayor. I don't remember because I never got to actually talk to the mayor when I was having the issues with trying to get my capacity for my gym that I had so that I could hold events at my gym. I even went out of my way and I opened my gym up specific 2 Saturdays out of the month for a kids' night, 13 and older. We were going to call it a parents' night out. Parents, bring your kids over to the gym, drop them off. They're going to dance, have drinks, sodas, things like that. You go over and go have a good evening for 2 weeks. That got shut down. I mean, I was going to do movie nights over there. That got shut down. We need something for these kids around this town instead of them out being pulled over by the police department because they're out walking up and down the street with nothing to do. I went out of my way. I spent every penny of my retirement when I left El Paso back in 2020 to move back here to my hometown. I opened that gym. That's what it was for the kids. And I got shut down. I got run out of my own building after finding out that I had to have a serious back surgery. You know, now on a daily basis, I have videos of these officers parking at the back behind my home, and then they tell me on video the reason why they're watching or they pulled this vehicle over on private property, that the reason why they pulled them over was because 1, they knew the owner of the vehicle. 2, they knew that she had a warrant. But he's going to stay at my home because they were there to pick up my roommate at that time to take her to work. But they're going to run this car, run this lady, and come to find out it's a non-extradition warrant, and he still stays there. And he keeps standing there. They leave, take her to work. Next thing they know, they're getting pulled over and one of the officers is running into her job, yelling at her while she's on the phone with me. Yelling at her, telling her, get your stuff and get out here right now. It's illegal.
So Mr. Pearson,
There's all kinds of different concerns here.
Right. I kind of want to reiterate kind of the first point that you made that, so one of the main issues that you're having is with the police department.
Harassment.
Right, and you've been trying to reach Chief Thomas.
Yes, sir.
Right.
I've turned in complaints. I've turned in, Lieutenant Odell, he's personally handed me the complaint forms. I've personally turned them back in. I've never, ever had anything, a response. I even went to go talk to this gentleman for trespassing, all right, for that, not the officers, because I do understand that you cannot trespass a public servant, okay, but you can trespass the name, the person, unless they need to be there for a warrant. They don't need to be on my property because I am so afraid of leaving my home or driving my vehicle or allowing my kids to go out and do anything because J.D. Foster, Will Foster, and Chris McNabb, all three of them, Chris McNabb and J.D. Foster are the ones that beat the snot out of me. I'm 5'8", 145 pounds, broken back, less than a month out of back surgery. And I've got an officer that's, 6'3", 350 pounds. Another officer that's 5'8", 200 pounds. You know, what am I going to do? They reached in my gate over a disabled lady that was in a wheelchair, grabbed my arm and tried to yank me over the top of her. I have it on video. Everything. 100%. Everything is on video and audio. And then when J.D. Foster proceeded to tell me that the reason why he pulled them over was because they were at my house. But I'm the one that took the charges. I'm the one that had to get 18 months of probation. I'm the one that has to pay $100 a month for the next 18 months. I'm the one that had to write an apology letter to this officer. I'm the one that is about to go to jail because nobody in this town will let me do 40 stupid hours of community service. I begged Mr. Ryan, that was the dog catcher, okay? And then the young lady that's sitting in for him because the poor man's in the hospital and very sick, all right? And their response is, Chief Thomas has not given us the clearance to allow you to come out here and do this. Okay, so I take that to the district attorney's office when I go to pay my fines because I had to sit there with him for 5 minutes. When I ask him, would you please get a hold of Chief Thomas and let him know that I just want to do my community service and I want to get this done and behind me.
I think what we could do for you tonight, so council, we cannot take action on issues that bring up, but it's something that we can address on a future agenda. But we've got Chief Thomas here. If you two would like to step out, exchange. And
Most definitely.
talk.
I mean, I don't have an issue with that.
Right.
I just want I've never had to do anything like this. I've never been up in front of people like y'all, all due respect, but I haven't.
Mhm.
The only board I've ever been against was the military board.
Mhm.
And this is scaring the snot out of me because I'm really nervous and I know that there's going to be repercussions.
No, there's, we're here to hear you.
And, no, you guys are here to help. I understand that.
And
I understand that. I am in fear for myself, my family, my friends that keep coming to my home. Nobody will come over and hang out with me no more. Because every time they leave my home, they're getting pulled over by the same two officers. Every time. No matter what it is.
We've got Chief Thomas here. He can, if you guys would like to step out, you can take him over to your office if you need to. You guys can talk about this.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've even talked to my mom about going as far as dropping my unemployability on my VA pension just so I could go out there and be the dog catcher. Because there's no one in this town that is doing it. I mean, I hate to say it. You got that young lady that does it, and she's really
We
nice.
hired a full-timer last week.
You know, I mean, and like I explained to her, I'm qualified. I ran Miranda Nicholas, me and him and his brother ran her kennel for over a year. I'm more than qualified to go out there and walk dogs and feed them and all that stuff. But, you know, if you can't get a response from anyone, you know, especially when you turn in harassment paperwork or you know, you go and ask for paperwork to let your chief know what his officers are doing in their cruisers when he ain't around. You know, I mean, heck, you got one of them that goes out there to CCC Lake with the young ladies on his shifts. You know, and I guarantee you his wife wouldn't like that. There's another officer that, you know, for 3 years that used to, instead of going home to his wife, he'd go home to my ex-roommate. You know, I mean, this is getting ridiculous, you know. How many officers are we seeing over here in the casino, you know, spending all their time there instead of being in their office or in their cruiser or at home with their families? You know, I ain't got much legs to stand on except for these two right here. And I'm going to stand on my 2 feet, and like I told my grandpa, I don't care how many times I have to take a butt whooping from this police department, it will change. And I am going to stand on my 2 feet, and we're going to change it one way together. We're going to do it together, or I'm going to do it on my own. I mean, I'm sure if any of y'all have been pulled over by these officers, they're not polite. They're not. Public servants. They are here to serve the public. Serve and protect. Not harass and abuse. Because that's what's going on. These officers are harassing and abusing their power of a badge. It's been going on for too long. What about the Officer Kelly that was hung up in a tree? You know, was there ever a actual full investigation? What about all the cruiser car tracks that was out there and then they found him 3 days later hanging in a tree because he was gonna flip and tell everything that was going on in the police department? You know, what happened to the black officer that we had? He got ran out of town by the police department because he was black. What about the young lady Brandy? She was a police officer.
Mr. Pierce, you're getting off topic here.
Okay,
Yeah.
You've
well,
run past your time. We understand what you're aggravated about.
I-
And now you're starting to.
my apologies. I'm putting facts out there.
And I think one of the issues that you said from the beginning is that you're trying to reach Chief Thomas, and if you guys would like to step out, I think that would be.
That's fine. I can step out with him, but I just want everyone to understand.
Hey, I've known you for a long time, D-Ray, but I'm just asking this from a city perspective because I feel like we have to.
Okay.
Is it policy for you to step out with him by yourself?
Is it policy for me?
Mhm.
Yeah, my door's open to
Okay.
anybody.
Well,
Like I said, I've tried to reach out to him. It was a dog catcher deal, and I'll go talk to him about that. But my number's right. Your number's right there on my desk.
yeah.
It calls and goes straight to voicemail. And we'll call it when we're in there to prove.
Well, I don't even have it here with me.
Okay.
That's just a recording device for,
No, I mean,
so.
if you want, we can go talk.
All
That's no
right.
problem.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
But
you.
like I said, I mean, we need to look into the tyranny of this police force.
Thank you, Mr. Pearson.
Thank y'all.
Sign back in here. Moving along, item number 5. Proclamations, commendations, reports, and inquiries by the governing body. Do we have any proclamations? I don't believe we do. Other than Christmas is coming up. Commendations, don't believe we have any. So council reports. So moving down the line, let's go with Ward 1. Gloria,
I don't
Scott,
have anything.
anything?
Nope.
No? Ward 2?
I don't have anything.
Joe, Curtis?
I got something. First of all, street light was fixed,
Hey.
so that was awesome. So no more low-hanging wires, and we have a street light again, which has been out since the ice storm. But I feel like I need to kind of stand up and kind of explain this, but February is going to be my last month. So, taken on a lot in the last couple of years. I also volunteer with some other things. I also do things on Wednesday nights and on Sundays with the church and evening and the morning, which that has nothing to really do with that. But also, my son got into high school this year, and when he played JV games, every single one of them were on Mondays.
Oh.
So, so I missed out on that. I also took on travel with the job, which is not a bad thing. I love my job and I love where I work. But because I took that on, I'm just having to refocus some things in my life that mean more. And I know that my daughter's a junior and my son's in high school now, and I only have a couple years left with them in this chapter of their life. So, and at first it was, we all knew that, hey, for the most part, it's 2 days a month, right? Well, right? And then, but we did, and I'm not sad about anything we did. We did a lot of good work, and this council continues to do awesome work. So I don't have any complaints. But with the good work that's happening, there's just going to be more and more work, and I know that. And I think we're getting a lot of things ironed out, but now we do have special meetings, and we had the hospital issues, and we have the consultant, and we've got the city manager stuff coming up, and we've got the regular meetings, and we've got,
Yeah.
and so, and people don't know what I do even outside of council, or that I have other things to do, but honestly, in the last 3 months, I can't count on 10 fingers how many times I've been home before bedtime. So I had to make a decision. And I love council, and maybe when my kids are out of school, maybe I will make that jump again, but for now, I feel like my part needs to be with them.
You're right.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. And I appreciate the opportunity that I've had with you all, and I am going to stay through February. And I hope that I get the chance to rejoin this again later. So I appreciate it. I had more important decisions that I had to make. So, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Curtis. I commend you for that. I mean, putting family first, that's important. That is most important. So everyone just kind of keep in mind for Ward 2, for folks that, did you got somebody in mind? So this is, so after February, what days is it?
60.
60. So after February, once you vacate your seat, if we don't have that position filled within 60 days, then it goes to a special election.
Okay. I do know that at one point in that window that I'm going to be gone for about 3 weeks.
Okay.
So you're not going to see me too much in that time frame.
Right.
But I will dang sure be talking to people. If anybody wants to call me and talk to me about it and see what it entails, or just to see if they'd be interested, call me or message me, whatever you need to do. I'm happy to talk to you about it.
Mhm.
So.
Good deal. Good deal. Thank you, Curtis. All right, Ward 3. Annette, Randy?
I don't have anything else.
I didn't have last meeting, the conversation around doing our own asphalt work
Mhm.
and some of that, and it wasn't even a conversation, it was just a report from the Blackwell. I got several calls around that, and none of them, I guess, I would call negative, but they were all just kind of warnings of being very careful that not just anybody can do asphalt and can do it right, and you may end up with more problems than repairs if you don't have the right kind of training and the right kind of people, and they understand doing it. Kind of surprised me that short little presentation that resulted in several phone calls, but obviously the streets and street repair are a hot topic with almost everybody in town.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And we'll go to Derek and Sammy.
I don't have anything to report.
Okay. But we can kind of continue that because myself, Joe, Scott, we went to Blackwell as well to go see what you all saw as well. And Joe, Scott, what were your guys' thoughts on that?
I was pretty impressed with what they were getting done on the streets with the equipment that they have and what they're doing, and the most impressive thing to me was their open arms to allow us to come up there, send our people up there to learn what they're doing, how they're getting it done, and I mean they were extremely open to helping us in any way possible. I was pretty impressed with that.
Yeah. Joe?
Yeah. I'm on the same page. That's impressive what they're doing. I mean, I think we've got some hurdles to get through to be able to do that ourselves, but it's worth a longer discussion.
Mm-hmm. I agree, and kind of going back to the folks that were calling you, this was one of their concerns. When we went to Blackwell, I don't know if it was the same for you guys. They said, yeah, we can have our guys come up to Blackwell, work with their crew. They'll show them exactly how they do it, and it'll be hands-on training. And then even when they come back to do it here, they said that they would send some of their guys down to come do it with us on our streets to help us with it, so that we also have that supervision as well in the training. But that partnership with Blackwell, I think is great.
Yeah.
To be able to work with another municipality on issues that they're having, that they're finding solutions on, or issues that we're having that, you know, we've been struggling finding finding solutions on, is a great way to work together.
Truly can't thank Jerry and his team enough for what he's done so far, and hopefully we can do it together later.
Yeah,
That was the other thing I was impressed with was Jerry.
yeah,
Yeah.
He-
Like just
Pretty good guy.
learning how different cities have their departments organized even
Right.
was interesting.
yeah,
I think we have some room to learn.
yeah. All right, any other discussion or thoughts on that from Blackwell? We move right along then to our committee reports. So we've got, let's start with the hospital. We had anything happen?
We had a couple of calls since we last met, and I just wrote down a little bit of notes from each one. So on the 11th, they just kind of talked about wrapping things up in stage 1. They're going to discuss stage 2 on the January 8th meeting. They're planning for a bid date of February 29th, 2024. They talked about moving the refrigerator, just minimal things. There's not going to be a stove or an oven in there. And then there was an email a couple days after that meeting, and they just said that the flooring that they had chose was discontinued, but they found something similar. And then today's meeting, they said that they were wrapping up and submitting the OSDH plan review form to the state. And then they just had some questions about the ER rooms, the temporary ones that they're going to use while we do each section. So that's pretty much it. Then there's going to be an in-person meeting on the 22nd. And I think Derek's going to go. I don't know if you were on that or not, Joe, but...
No, but I missed the call today.
Okay, well, it's going to be the 22nd downstairs, I think.
And downstairs in the
Yeah.
hospital. And
That's
I think
about
90% review is
Yeah.
the idea.
Yeah.
So,
90% page turn meeting is what they called it.
Good, good. Moving on right along, we've got drainage. Anything new with that?
I
Not that
don't
I'm aware of.
know if I don't know if the street department started working down there or not, but they do have all the survey done to go ahead and move forward with the drainage ditch out of, is that Maple Street?
Yeah.
At the end of
Mhm.
Maple to,
Maple and Tyler.
yeah, to get the water to drain on out of the neighborhood. So I think they're waiting for the weather to cooperate with them on that.
They got all that done just in time for the bad weather.
Yeah, yeah. So they was waiting for it to dry up just in time for it to rain again.
I think we'll meet with Matco again and come up with that. Any other thing that needs to go phase-wise, and then also maybe another recommendation for some drainage opportunities that we may not have in ordinances. So come back before you guys with that in the future as a
Okay.
recommendation.
All right, and then finally, planning or zoning.
That was kind of in line with
Mhm.
what he was just talking about.
Very similar as
Yeah.
well.
Very similar. Okay.
We have struggled to have a meeting in the last month for various reasons, so hopefully right after the first year sometime we'll have another meeting.
Yeah, this
I
time
think
of year, it's kind of,
Yeah, I think our next meeting, we should have the PUD finalized where we can send it to planning, and then as long as they sign off on it, then it should come before council.
okay, good deal. Anything else to bring forward? If not, let's move right along. Item number 6, acting city manager report. What you got for us?
Well,
Christie?
not a whole lot. I do say that me and Tyson met with the G Friday to launch it off. And I told them while we were talking, I said, guys, I'm trying to be really calm about this, but this is getting exciting. I showed Lawrence some of the, and I think Randy got to see a peek of some of what the choices of what the website will look like. They're looking at launching it by February 2nd. They said it should not take them very long at all. Basically, they'll take our information, we just gotta choose what we want it to look like and go from there. And Tyson, I sat for the first 5 minutes of the meeting going, oh, yes, yes, that's right, and then they talked big words. And it went over my head.
Tyson laughing in there.
Yeah, it was a lot of technical stuff, and I just sat there and listened and was there for backup. But it's getting really close. The whole look of our website is going to be completely different, and the app looks really simple to use. It's getting really exciting. We just got to name our app because City of Perry is 13 characters and it can only be 12. So I told Lawrence today we're gonna have to find something besides City of Perry for when the app, the description on the app. But the only other thing I had is we did for the Wise building, but we'll be talking about that here pretty soon. Everybody take your little thing, coaster that was left by Connie. We thank you, Connie, for the little gift on the table today. But other than that, it's been semi-quiet at the office. I say that, but give me some real wood to knock on because it's scary. It hasn't been too bad. We don't have a whole lot going on with the holidays, so. But we will be closing early Friday for the holidays to get them started. Russ says I'm getting soft. We will be having recycle on the 23rd. We had a lot of interest, and so I said, okay, we'll do it right before the holidays, but
I need to get rid of all my boxes.
well, bring them on. We got an empty box up there, so, but
So that's on the 23rd.
have it on 23rd.
When do you reopen?
I was gonna say after
For the
Christmas.
holidays, it'll be Wednesday, the 27th. Yeah. Yeah, he said, like he says, I'm getting soft.
Yeah.
I don't know, I got a Grinch for my coasters. I don't know if that's really
So did
true.
Russ.
But it's been great. Everything's going pretty smooth, so,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, thank you, Christy.
thank you.
All right, item number 7. Russ?
Well, since I've already lost my over-under bet on how quickly this meeting was gonna get over, I'm gonna go ahead and take about half an hour now and talk about some financials for you. We're gonna blow it out of the water now, really, guys. I'll keep this kind of quick. Handful of summary things that we always hit and kind of want to make sure everybody's up to date on. CPI back down to 3.2%, so we're 2 months in the threes. It's now starting to look like maybe a little more normal number as far as CPI goes, which is good for us. We'll look at that overall and talk about that as we get into the next budget season. Guys, we're talking about 11 months through the year. We're now going, or 11 month, which is 5 months through the year. We're going to be done with half the year next time we meet. So, guys, it's flying by, and unfortunately, we're going to be back in budget talks before too long. Kirsten's going to skip out on us before we get there, but outside of that,
We can
we're
time that out.
going to be good on that.
Yeah.
The OMPA was another credit again this month, guys. So that is, as far as our PCA, our power cost adjustment that we make, that'll be in the negative. So their wholesale cost of fuel to drive the electricity was down. Therefore, we pass that on to the citizens likewise. So
Did it stay or did it go down further?
it is, well, it's not down as much as it was, but it's still in a negative number for us. All the way back to Earl, whenever Earl Hicks was here, it was his pride and joy that we get an equation that will keep us in a positive some months, negative some months, PCA. He just hated it, always seeing it at 3 and 4 cents in the PCA. So we worked really hard and have done that. And even though Earl's not still with us, I want to still give credit to Earl for his calculations and the time that he spent on that. So the reason you're getting the negative is back to Earl and his calculations and the work that we did on that. So just kind of a heads up on that. Budget right now is 42% if you're looking at the budget versus actual, guys. I don't have anything specific to look at in these numbers to point at.
I will tell you, our sales tax, use tax combined through the month of December's deposit is going to be off almost 19%. But whenever you look at your budget versus actuals, we're still right at budget or a tad bit ahead of budget. That's because we knew this was going to happen. We already knew it was coming. We knew we didn't have the construction going on. We knew we didn't have the big pieces in town that were the major differences that we had seen the last 18 months prior. So while yes, it's not great news, the good news is we're still trending at about $245,000 a month in sales tax. That's a positive number. We've got to keep it in that 240 to 260 range to kind of stay at our budgeted piece. So if you're listening or if you hear me say something and you don't focus on anything else, just know that we've got to be in that 240 to 260 range to stay where we need on sales tax. So we're looking good there. That's where we want to be. Hotel motel tax this month was up, back to 24,000. There was a makeup one makeup deposit that was in there that kind of skewed that a little bit, but still we would have been above our $17,000 break even number on hotel motel tax without that. So again, another good piece, just signs that the economy's kind of holding steady with what we expected. We're not blowing anything out of the water, but if we can hold steady, I like it predictable. I like to know month in and month out where we're going to be and what we're going to have. Department-wise expenses, like I said, we're pretty much in check. There wasn't anything big that was flowing out on that. There are some budget amendments related to the Malzahn monies and a couple of those things that will get run through in January's budget amendments where we do those at the end of 6 months. So, questions? Anybody have something about the financials? No. I stayed within my budgeted time, just so
You did good.
just noted.
All right. So on to item number 8, continued discussion of use of the Wise Building as street parking building and related matters. Direction, action as desired. So in front of you guys, I think Chrissy's gonna go over it, but we do have the bid for the Wise Building. We got that in. Take a look at it. So this is the group that is going to be doing the police department and, or they already did the police department,
And the fire department.
So the same group came in at just under 9,000, so 8,800 for the Wise Building.
This, he said, would get you the repairs done and give you a couple more years
Right.
use out of the building.
So this isn't a complete replace, this is patching the roof and getting it usable.
So it doesn't collapse.
Right.
Is this there was one where maybe we would only have to pay the
He did
deductible?
not, they have not, his guys just finished this one, the cost guys, because he had to come back and get some different calculations. They have not got the other one calculated yet for a total replacement.
All insurance.
I have not talked to insurance yet. Not yet.
Okay.
And the total
Want to see where
replacement
we
was the
go.
one where we may only have to pay the deductible or somewhere.
We
That
would
would
be
be the
paid.
insurance, have the adjuster.
Could, yeah.
Look at it.
Okay,
They'd have to see what the insurance would do.
so until we, okay.
But this is just for to patch it for right now.
And then it's just the shop area, not the old showroom / office.
This is for all
I
of
think the
it.
whole thing.
They said there was a couple areas, Susie had to come back, is there's an area that's drooped and it puddles water. And
Yeah.
it's holding that, and so he had to come get some more calculations.
When we were inside, you could see where there was
Yeah.
a part in the middle that was actually lower than all the ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was, come get more calculations so they could get a more accurate calculation on it, so.
So if we can possibly get the whole thing replaced for only the cost of our deductible,
Yeah.
would it pay to
Yeah.
wait on this?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you would want the adjuster to come out and take a look at it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
prior to that. Yeah, I would get that called in because usually around this time of year, they're gonna have a lot of other calls if we start getting freezes,
Yeah.
and then they get pretty backed up. All right, so there's that. Cody, any discussion on the Wise Building?
Okay.
All right. Item number 9. Discuss police officer agreement with the Charles Machine Works Incorporated.
We had signed this agreement with them and that's why we hired the extra officer. We still had not gone out and started doing any patrolling. I talked with Brian, a couple weeks ago, and I said, Brian, pick a date. It starts on the 16th or it starts on the 1st. We've got to get this done. We've put them off bad enough on a lot of items. We need to say now. I do know that the powers that be out there, the Coro's not very happy because it hasn't been done yet. There was supposed to be a meeting. I never heard from Tracy. Brian said he hadn't talked to him since they supposedly were coming to have another meeting, but Brian and I had talked and he will start January 1st. They will start patrolling out there, and Brian says, if I have to do it myself. Well, that's what you said before, so that's when you stick to it. Because we made this promise with them, we've signed the agreement, they signed the agreement, so we need to get this going. So this was just to update everybody that there is a date set that they will start the extra patrolling. He's even gonna talk to his other admins in the building that will also be taking a turn to go out and just make your presence known.
But the Charles Machine Works is not out any money until we actually send them a bill for hours, correct?
That's correct.
Have they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have not billed them.
Okay.
We have not.
Perhaps we'll send them a letter. Tell
Yes.
them, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get in touch with Tracy and whoever else out there that needs to know that we will be starting this on January 1st.
All right. So moving right along. Item 10, approve the following invoice by Myers Engineering Consulting Engineers Incorporated. Perry Water Systems Improvements for $11,520. Second, Maple Drainage Evaluation for $1,273.50. Water Rights Evaluation, $506.
Can we do these all at once?
Yes.
Yeah.
Motion to approve paying invoices by Myers Engineering.
Second.
All right, roll call.
Coldiron,
Yes.
Rupp,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Coffee,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Wortham.
Yes. Item 11, any new business? Seeing none. Item 12, consider convening into executive session to discuss the appointment of a city manager, include the review of any applications received to date. We've received, I believe,
There's 9 or 10.
9 or 10 or so that we have for everybody to take a look at and kind of discuss together. So do we have a motion to convene into executive session?
So moved.
Everybody can pick one. All right.
We
Well, let's
need a
pick somebody.
second. What do we have
There's a
for?
Second.
There we go.
And then we'll have roll call.
That's crazy. Okay. Coldiron,
Yes.
Rupp,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Coffee,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Wortham.
Yes. motion to reconvene.
Motion to reconvene.
Okay, we have motion second. Roll call when you're ready.
Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Coffee.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Wortham.
Yes. All right, item 14, taking action. We do not have any action at this time in respect to our executive session. But item
Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Second?
And second. Roll call when you're ready.
Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Coffee.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Wortham.
Yes. All right, these ones will be quick. Let me know when you're ready. All right, let's call to order our meeting, regular meeting for Perry Municipal Authority. Let's have a roll call.
Goldar.
Here.
Rupp.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Coffee.
Here.
White.
Here.
Marshall.
Here.
Davis. Here. And Wortham.
Here. All right, we have a quorum. Item 1, consent agenda.
So
Motion
moved.
to, second.
All right, roll call.
Okay, I guess who said all that? Okay, Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Coffee.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Wortham.
Yes. Item
But
4,
sometimes I can't
adjourned.
tell which one to say it over there.
We
Second.
have a motion and second. Gloria and Jeanette, and roll call.
And Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Coffee.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Wortham.
Yes. All right. Let's call our meeting to order for the Perry Facilities Authority. And begin with roll call.
Goldar.
Here.
Rupp.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Coffee.
Here.
White.
Here.
Marshall.
Here.
Davis.
Here.
Wortham.
Here, we have quorum. Item 1, consent agenda,
Motion to approve.
Second?
and roll call.
Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Coffee.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Wortham.
Yes. And item 4, adjourned.
So moved.
Roll call.
Goldar.
Yes.
Rupp.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Coffee.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Wortham.
Yes.
See the